Welcome back to another episode of Mafia Family Ties. With me today is Joe Croom. How are you, man?
Living the dream. How are you?
Good stuff, man. Good. Thanks for taking the time to be a part of this. I know you're really busy. You're doing a lot of different things around the team and around the city in general, so I appreciate you making some time.
Anything for Del Reed.
Oh, quote that. Can we get that saved somewhere? I like to start with the origin story. So in terms of your Bills fandom, did you grow up a Bills fan?
Yeah, growing up, Bills fan since I can remember. I remember listening to Van Miller on the radio all the time with my uncle and my mom, and we weren't doing too well. I remember she had a Tequila Spikes jersey. Then getting into it myself, you grow up, you see it as kids, they slowly become more passionate about it. And then I remember my first game was actually the game where the gentleman got paralyzed.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't really a good introduction to the game.
Yeah.
I remember going to games
That
where...
would have been 2012, 2013, something like that?
Yeah, and I remember...
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about Kevin Everett.
Yes, sir.
That one, okay.
Yes. And then I remember... First game I remember, to where I can actually remember, obviously that was a freak thing, so I'll never forget that kind of thing.
Wow.
I remember going to games where Jim would have Hunter there. And that's a memory that I have. I actually share that with his daughters when I see them. And then from there, it just kind of took off. Well, the whole bring up of being a Bills fan was an interesting ride, especially to you don't understand with what everybody went through with the 4 Super Bowls and stuff. And now you're starting to realize what it felt like. And you're like, okay, I get it now. That's
a good point. Yeah, it's at least my generation. We went through the Super Bowl. At least we got that taste of it, Right now, it feels like the younger fans are just kind of getting the dime store version.
Do you feel like it's kind of a here we go again kind of thing? For you guys, because oh, well, we've been here before.
No, not yet. Not yet. I wouldn't even say not yet. I think they're two completely different eras. And I think there's different things going on, both with the team and the league in general. And I want to believe that the story's not written yet. So I think we just have a really long preamble right now.
I also feel like everybody's kind of bought in. Everybody's it's going to happen.
Oh, absolutely. I remember when they signed Von Miller in 22 or whatever it was. He said, it's going to happen regardless. I just get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Turns out he wasn't. But that's the mindset though, is it's going to happen for this team. And I'm not greedy. I don't care if we get one.
That's all you need.
Until you get it. Then I can't wait to see what it's like on the other side.
Yeah.
But until we get there, we just need
one. I always wondered what it would have been to be a Chiefs fan or a Patriots fan. It's does this ever get boring? If you guys lose, you're damn, we suck. Or you're I guess we can't win them all. What is
probably,
that?
People are people everywhere, so it's probably the first.
I just don't want to be spoiled, where it's just an expectation. Oh, we didn't win the Super Bowl this year. Sell the team.
Yeah. I would love to be spoiled.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine what it feels like.
No. Hopefully we get to figure it out eventually, right?
I have faith.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it's a good talk. It's a good chat.
Yeah.
So your fanhood growing up is much different than your fan experience now, because it's not even as much of a fan experience as these dudes. Mm-hmm. And to the point where one of the things that I love about you is every time I see you at a Bills game, you wear a different player's college jersey. Mm-hmm. I love that support for the individual players, because I feel like it's very representative of kind of your relationship with the team atomized into these individual relationships. So kind of what's that that dichotomy?
It's good that you actually see that, because I try to explain it to a lot of people. I don't sports gamble. I don't gamble in general, but I'd be the worst fantasy football player ever, because I would just get my friends. I'm yeah, we're going to lose this week, but as long as I support the guys, I just feel learning over the past couple of years, what the back end of football looks like, pretty much outside of the game. And you see the ins and outs and how, normal these people are just like us and go through the same trials and tribulations outside of the game as we do, but on a higher scale, because it's for everybody to view, so, you kind of almost root for the guys a lot more, because, there's so many things going on behind the scenes, and you just see what the guys do on Sundays, and you value how much more, making those plays mean to those guys, because what it's for more. Obviously, there's certain things that go on that are you have to stay in house, but the same thing. They're the same people as us, and I just feel the value of being represented individually is so much more on a mental. My thing is how can I help people know that they got somebody in their corner specifically, because there's a lot of guys like obviously you're not a Josh Allen or everybody's got his jersey in the crowd, and then you see your jersey, you're like, is that my jersey? And like, oh, okay, like just imagine seeing that from that point of view. So that's kind of where it goes, but I also like try to be different. That's kind of
yeah, of course, right? So it's always fun to kind of stand out a little bit. Like, why is that guy wearing my? Oh yeah, that's like
I get chirped at more than anything. Like,
really?
Dude, it's an NFL game, right? And then I have to explain whose jersey it is, and then they apologize. And some of them are pretty crazy though. I actually had 2 bad experiences.
All right.
Doing that. I wore Micah Hyde's Iowa Hawkeyes jersey to a Steelers game. Oops.
Could have done better there.
Yeah, I want to say I didn't think about it, but I don't know. Maybe it was the Labatt talking. But funny thing, it's not as dramatic as it sounds, but I actually got like stabbed in my hand for wearing that jersey. Like somebody was like,
do we hate the Steelers that much? I mean, I know they're AFC,
it was
but like
somebody was giving me like a high five. I was like high-fiving people, and somebody put something in their hand. So like when I got a high five, I didn't know.
What?
And then it's crazy because it's raining this day. I have a picture of it. I'm standing in the tunnel getting ready to come down to the 100 level, and there's a lady up there with a baby, and like a very young baby. And I'm like, oh, is this the baby's first game? And she's like freaked out. She's like, get away from me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on? She's like, you're bleeding. I'm looking, I got blood all down my jersey. My hands bleeding. Gosh. I guess I get how weird this looks now.
Yeah.
And then like the sheriffs come over and they're like trying to like give me gauzes and stuff. I'm like, I just want to watch the game. Like, give me a napkin. I'm going to my seat. And I have a picture of me just smiling in the front row, blood on my jersey. I'm just like, oops.
Wow.
Retired that jersey.
Good call. Good call. Did you wash it?
No, it's memory,
save it, right? Yeah, save it for sure. A little bit of a biohazard, but it's all good.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's disappointing to hear that somebody would do that to us.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
people out there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So did you say you had 2 stories?
Yeah, well, one isn't necessarily it's just wearing the wrong thing to the wrong game.
Yeah.
But there was no negative of it, but it was still. I always, every year, like during the December games, if we have a home game, I always dress up as Buddy the Elf. Mm-hmm. I decided to do it when we played the Packers. Oops, again. But that one wasn't bad, and nobody was mean.
I don't think anybody's confusing Buddy the Elf with a Packers fan. But
well, a lot of people actually did.
Really?
And I don't know if you remember the viral like guy that's just like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
he was at the game.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of funny like videos and stuff together, and I think we obviously beat the crap out of him that game, but that was like a good memory.
Wow, that's awesome. So aside from getting stabbed in the hand,
no big deal.
What are some of the things about Bills Mafia? We'll stick to the good stuff that maybe people don't understand, like from outside of Bills fandom, that you'd want to make sure that people, other fans of other teams, know about us.
Well, I feel like even from like a player perspective, you hear every time they talk, whether they play for a different team, they'll never not say that we have the best fan base. I feel like we're passionate. I don't know how we're passionate more than everybody else. Just like I don't understand how people can't cook a chicken wing like we can. But, sometimes like they say keep Buffalo a secret, and we'll keep doing that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like our passion is what separates us from a lot of people, because I feel we are small town, but we're like small town, big town, really, because of how, vocal we are with our fan base. And you would see how small our fan base really is compared to the other ones. But if you were to be like, I need all Bills fans to show up to this empty lot versus everybody else, we're definitely going to have a lot more people. We're getting so huge in the fan aspect of the NFL. I mean, they're always saying like, oh, we're now America's team, because everybody loves watching us play ball on holidays when we have those games and stuff, and we're always the most viewed game. So
I love it. Actually, I have one of these. I'll give it to you. It wasn't planned.
I'll gladly take it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It says America's team on it.
Look at that. See, I spoke into existence.
There it is.
I also like Apple Watches.
Good stuff. I'm all out. I need this. This wrist needs this one, but.
Oh, yeah. I actually haven't had a rubber bracelet like this since Dion made his You Already Know bracelet.
Nice. It's conflicting a little bit with the ice you got on there.
No, it's okay. I might get rid of the ice for this. This is way cooler.
You're a professional photographer. You're pretty good at what you do. How did that interest originally spark for you? And when did you realize that you might be able to use it like in the world of sports and football specifically?
So when I was younger, I used to skateboard. I actually broke every bone in my left leg. So that's why I don't skateboard.
Yeah.
I always used to like make skateboarding videos with my friends. We used to have like a super cheap camera with the SD card, and we'd always make little videos on Windows Movie Maker. I always loved the creative aspect of things and just how to like showcase something to people. I feel like that might have been like the way to look at it. And I kind of stepped away from it for a while. And one time I was randomly in Target. There was a Pentax K50, which is a camera. It was like a display model. It's like a $900 camera. It was on sale for like $217 for the display. I'm like, why not? So bought it. And one of my best friends played semi-pro football. He's like, dude, you should come out to our football game and take pictures. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go out there. I have like the small lens that comes on the camera. There's nothing you can really do from a football point of view unless you're making a play 2 feet in front of me. It's not going to be that pretty. But everything that I did out of that game, I just edited and shared with the team. And it's a team from Rochester, actually. And just the reception I got from like how appreciative they were for like the pictures, and pretty much, you know, some people live through that kind of stuff, which me being able to be a part of that was like very, I feel like being appreciated was like the top of it for me. So I'm like, man, I want to keep doing this. So I went to a couple more games. And I'm like, you know what, let me actually try to buy a lens that can actually do football. So started doing that, kind of just took off from there with the interest in football. And one of the kids on the team was like, dude, you should go to training camp one day. I'm like, okay, let's go. So like I was throwing all these pictures up on this new Instagram that I made, and I didn't know who Jordan was. I can honestly say that I was very far away from him, like very, very far. And Jordan gets pretty tan in the summer. I'll give him that. I took a picture of this guy getting off the field, and I put Tyrod Taylor, last one off the field at practice. I'm driving home from Rochester. I get a DM, and it's Jordan Poyer. He's like, hey man, just want to let you know that picture you put up is me, not Tyrod. And I'm so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, maybe I just delete this whole thing and try a different like career path. And I'm just like, you know what? It's like, my bad, man. I was like, I'm going to come out to training camp tomorrow. I'll get you a couple more pictures, but I'm still going to tag Tyrod on at least 5 of them. Like just to like smooth it over. And he's like, oh, no worries. And then the following day, he's on the fence signing autographs. And I'm just kind of standing there. And he's like, yo, do you want an autograph? I'm like, no, I'm fine. He's like, yo, are you that Croom Photos? I said, yes, I am. And I was like, Croom Photos it is from here on out.
That's awesome. Yeah, you answered like a bunch of questions.
I know. I'm like, damn, I went too far.
No, that's perfect. It's, you know, I don't need to interrupt with, you know, questions when you're giving me this good information. So you've developed some pretty good like friendships with these players at this point now. So when did like this, you know, professional relationship that you were having, like doing photo shoots for like Tywan Jones or, you know, different players, how did that kind of blur into the point where you're now getting invited to go out to like off-season practices and do photos and stuff like that?
I feel like it might be a respect thing. Maybe that's just my perspective to know, like, me coming into a space like that I know what I'm here for. And also I'm more or less thinking about like the whole, like when Josh had us go out to Florida during COVID thing, because after that we also had workouts that I set up at Cleve Hill, and then we also did one at Orchard Park, and they're running like legit full on plays. So like I'm also like, they wanted the content for themselves, but also like they had me there to tell people that they can't film anything. So like my goal is to kind of just make sure everything's going cordial in those spaces, but also doing pictures. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal, and just, you know, being the right person to be around.
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Past 7 or 8 years now, what's one of the most memorable, coolest experiences you've had in that vein?
See, I get this question a lot, and it's good because every time I get asked it, I have a different one.
All right.
So I feel like the more I've got into it, the more I feel like especially working with Lorenzo, just to see how like giving back is impacted people. That's like my favorite thing. That's why I started my foundation, just to like, how can I give back? So I feel like kind of piggybacking off that, I was able to be a part of like when the guys go to Oshai and see the kids. And that was my favorite thing. Like I literally paid like $400 for one of my pictures to be the pictures that the kids were getting and stuff. Like I'm like, I want to be so involved. And walking into those rooms was incredible, because, you know, it really humbles you, because, you know, it's like raining outside. You're like, oh, you know, then you see these kids who are just so happy to exist, and you're just like, man, like, it just brings you to reality. And I feel like that's like one thing that we all should experience multiple times, you know. But I'll try not to get too into the story because I'll definitely get emotional. But we're going through these rooms, and it's like the same thing. I go in the room first, so when the guys come in, I can document the reactions of the kids and stuff, and just going through the motions. We're on like the 10th room we're going in, and I'm in the room. I just get in the corner because like so the woman who was with us had to go in and get like clearance to have them be on camera and stuff. So it was like a literally like go, go, go. So I go in there and I'm just like focusing on the door, and I just hear, "Oh, hey, Joe." And I look, and it's a girl I went to school with who is in the hospital with brain issues. And I just like completely rocked my world. And just like, she was more happy to see me than she was the guys. And I'm just like this is what I want to do. Like, I'm like, how can I get involved as much as possible now? And that's definitely my favorite thing, because like I just take pictures, and I'll always say that, but being able to be a part of something so impactful is the top of all for me.
No, absolutely. I can totally understand. And Lorenzo, I can completely see how he's the one that kind of maybe opened the door a little bit in terms of the give backness.
And it's effortless too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I've seen him do things that you should have, like teaching people on how to be a human. Like, I remember him when we had signature cuts out at the one of the centers he always works with, and they were giving free haircuts, and this older lady wanted to get a haircut. He went right up, youngest kid, out of the chair, held her hand. She's getting a haircut first, son. Like, yep. I feel like everybody needs to learn those type of mannerisms and just the way he carries himself, especially as a family man, especially in the world we live in. It's, you know, you don't really have many good ones, and Zoe's definitely one of the guys.
No, I love that dude. I loved him as a player, and I love him 10 times more as a person. Great guy. All right, so switching gears a little bit. Stadium talk.
Yes.
There's a new stadium on the horizon. Before we get into that part of the conversation, though, what's your earliest memory at Highmark Stadium? What's your favorite, whether it's tailgating or a game or both?
So my favorite game would be 2017 Bills versus Bucks, 3rd and 9, when Hauschka ended up going down and getting the game-winning field goal. But my favorite, like, that's when I was getting really close with Tywan Jones, and I understood, his story and how he's kind of just been a special teams guy, and then all of a sudden he's in there and makes, a conversion for a first down to continue to drive for us to allegedly win the game. Like, that was a huge moment for him, and it meant a lot to me just because I know what it's took for him to get there. So that was one of my first, like, man, this is awesome kind of moments. But I feel like if anybody ever asked what's the best play, like, it's hard not to say that Kansas City QB run from Josh, where it was like, okay, we got the first, and it's like, okay, now we got the touchdown.
Yeah.
That was probably the loudest I've ever heard that stadium ever.
I think I popped a vocal cord on that one, and that was, I mean, we literally made a shirt about that the next day. It was just such an iconic moment. Because the Bills, they never have a hard time with them in the regular season, do they?
Yeah.
I say that now ahead of like them playing them in a couple weeks, but that's a amazing play by Allen. I think was it a 26-yard run, or is it a 52-yard run or something like that? I can't remember which one.
I remember I was in section 130 and the play was a little ahead of me. I can't tell you what yard line that was. I think it was probably more on the shorter end of 50, but who knows? Josh does a lot of crazy things.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
I wish he also ran back him trying to throw that ball out of the stadium, because, I mean, we're running out of time. He only did it once.
Oh, yeah. Was that his rookie season or the second year?
I think it was the second.
Yeah, it was early on.
Yeah.
It was, but it was, I remember that. I think he was wearing all red that day too, I think. Or am I confusing it with another memory? But yeah, he's got to do it though. He's running out of time, right?
Yeah.
He's got a few games left. Okay, tailgating experience. What's some of your favorite moments from tailgating, aside from getting stabbed in the hand?
That was actually in the stadium.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
So tailgating now has been a great experience. When I was younger, it was more or less like the grab a grill out, kind of post up at your car. Now you have all these events going on and people having these private events. So I've been pretty tapped in with John from game day since day one. I've never missed a tailgate. We're even going to Carolina, and I'm like not going anywhere else, but wherever John's at, you know, just to see the simplicity of how tailgates are now, at least the way it is at an all-inclusive tailgate.
Yeah.
It just makes it so much more simple than like waiting for the grill to cool off. You see people when you leave the game, they got to leave the grill outside the car because it could start on fire if you put it in the car. So, but that was like old school tailgating. But yeah, I love it there. Like you never know who's going to be there. Like I met Doug Flutie there, and next thing you know, he's playing the drums with the band, and it's just you never know what to expect there because there's so many people. You never know who's going to be there, even like your friends and stuff or people you haven't seen in a while. Like I've ran into my teachers there, and I'm like, well, I was like, sorry, I was a jerk in school, but it's great to see you. Like, but no, I love that now, and I kind of like feel like the togetherness now of being a fan. Everybody wants to be together, and I feel like that's where I value the most is just being around awesome people.
Yeah, no, I love it, and John does a great job of game day hospitality. Anytime somebody's coming in from out of town, sometimes I'll get either a tweet or a DM or whatever, like, hey, where should I go? I'm like, just go to game day hospitality. They'll take care of you. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about it. And it seems like every week somebody says, oh, I went there and had a great time. I was like, yeah, I told you it was gonna be great.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
so
you said I was lying?
yeah, exactly. They got some great offerings there and everything. So in terms of the new stadium coming, do you think the tailgating is gonna change at all?
No. I don't know, because I wouldn't say we're gonna lose room. I don't know how quickly they're going to implode and parking lot that place up.
I think it's like March 27. So we're going to have to go through a whole season at the new stadium before the current stadium is torn down.
Oh, so that's going to – I won't say it's not going to inconvenience because you still have the same space.
Yeah.
But I won't say it's going to be different. I would assume that you're going to have a lot more Bills property now. So I feel like it's going to be probably managed a little more on the strict side, which – I get, but you also have your lots that still do what they need to do to keep the table jumping and stuff out there for everybody. So, I mean, the way I look at it, as long as Hammer's lot is still there kicking and, game day and, fans of Buffalo and everybody has their space, everything's going to continue the same.
Yeah. Yeah, because the only thing that's going to be different is that it's across the street eventually, So with the new stadium, if there's one thing you're hoping that they're going to have there, or if you could make sure one specific thing was going to be a part of the new stadium, is there something you could think of?
Not really. I'm such a simple guy. As long as I'm in there watching the game, I'm glad that there's actual grass. That's huge for obvious reasons. I'm excited for the guys for that aspect, but just as long as I'm in a seat.
Yeah. That's what I was saying before when we were, before we went through our stadium experience and everything. My whole thought, and I was telling my wife, is like, as long as we're in the room, as long as we're in the room, it doesn't matter where we sit. I just want to be in the room. Okay. Going back to the charity stuff, you do a lot of charity stuff. You want to talk about? You alluded to your foundation a few moments ago. You want to share with whoever's watching? Let them know what you do.
Yeah. So I have a foundation. It's called the Croom Photos Foundation. I've been in philanthropy for, I'd say, about 5 years now, just finding ways to give back. Not really having a specific motive, but pretty much just helping where help is needed. So it could be anything. Christmas has always been a huge thing for me. I love how you guys probably heard me talk about this 19 times. But yeah, Christmas is my favorite thing. I love family. I love togetherness. And I feel like as we get older and see how the world's changing, that's not really a thing anymore. And I remember being younger, how valuable, getting what you actually wanted for Christmas was. And as I get older now, I realize how hard it is to get those things, especially for people who struggle. Yeah. So, Christmas, we've done right around COVID, a little after it, I'd say 2022, I partnered up with Gabe Davis and Mike Love. And then I did like a 12 days of Christmas, raised $3,500 and helped out 2 families during Christmas. I won't get too into it because I get really emotional, but we helped 2 really good families. One family's mom was in the hospital on a ventilator due to COVID. And then the other family was moved due to displacement because of COVID, living in the Motel 6 over off camp, pretty much right here, actually. Yeah. So that was like the crazy experience but the best part about it is instead of just getting kids a bunch of stuff, we reach out to them, ask them to write a letter to Santa. So when we go shopping, we can actually get the stuff they enjoy. And I dressed up as Santa Claus, did the whole thing, went to like visually see it. And that's where it, like, I'm not a good actor by any means. For some reason, I had this thing where I kept calling myself Sandy. I kept calling myself Sandy, like that was my nickname, like Santa Claus's nickname. I was like, all right, next time we got to not do that. But the first family,
no, personality doesn't hurt though.
Yeah,
a little bit different, change it up.
I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah,
I think I got the job done. But the first family, they were more excited about getting Topps gift card than they were gifts, which was like I said, humbling. You know, it's like you think I gave them an Oculus, which is like the virtual reality, and they were more excited for the gift card for Topps, and I'm like, that's what I want. Like genuine stuff where kids are like, maybe we don't have to get this type of cereal this time. We can actually kind of go, especially during Christmas time. Like, why not make it the least stressful time ever for the most stressful time?
Yeah, make them feel like they're splurging a little bit or they're getting something.
Like you can actually be like, go get what you want. Like, and it's not like, I don't know if we can get that this week.
Yeah.
But the second family was probably, there's 3 people weren't there, but it was like a family of 7 inside of a motel room, living there. Like they had food in like a 50-gallon bin outside. And they had 2 dogs and stuff. And when I went in there, I didn't know what I was getting into. And I was mind blown. Based off the situation, you think like, I won't say that's rock bottom, but it's pretty damn close, at least in my opinion, to be stuck in a motel room for months on months with that many people. And I went in there, they had a Christmas tree in there still, decorated for Christmas. And I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to expect, and I like went out of the way. I bought like fluffy pillows, blankets, and stuff, and like I bought this kid a Pikachu because he liked Pikachu. It was literally like a $20 stuffed animal. I gave it to the kid, he started crying, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's just Pikachu, but it's not just Pikachu to him. So I'm sitting there, I'm crying, I'm Santa Claus and crying, and my voice is cracking. I'm like, Santa's going through it right now.
Saying he's working through his issues.
But it was like the most, like as soon as I walked out of that room, I had like 3 days left till it was actually Christmas. And I'm like, is there a way we can help anybody else? Like it was like the craziest fire to where like, I feel like when I try to explain it, I tell people like, I feel like I've lived a blessed life to an extent to where like, I won't say I'm fully fulfilled because I got to see my kids still kind of, grow up and be successful. But as far as on my end, like if it takes away from me, I want everybody else to have that because I've been through the worst of the worst. And I won't say I've had the best, but I've had enough to where I'm happy with how everything's turned out for me. So if I can take away from anything that's going my way to give to somebody else, knowing that that's the impact it has, 10 out of 10.
That's the beauty of contentment, right? Outside of, you're watching your kid grow up, like you're content. And what else is there? And so I always tell people 26 shirts and the different, things we've done. Reason we do it is because I'm selfish, because I like how it feels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you just said a moment ago, like that feeling of giving a kid a $20 Pikachu pillow and how that just, like, he's going to remember that for years to come. Like that one year Santa Claus showed up and gave him the Pikachu pillow. Like you can't bottle that up, man. You have to produce it, So I commend you on that. Seriously, that's really inspiring. I didn't know to that level of what you're doing. That's fantastic.
Let me spin it back to you. Obviously, you've been in the philanthropy game for a while. What moment did you feel in your life made you want to do it?
Well, it starts with my faith. I believe if you are blessed with something, your goal is to take that. Your job is to take that blessing and bless others with it. When the Bills Mafia thing grew and I had the social media audience that was growing, I mean, besides making jokes about the Patriots cheating and like fart jokes, whatever on Twitter, like what can I do productive with this audience? And I'm really grateful that, my Bills Mafia co-founders, Bree and Leslie, were right on board, same mindset that, all right, we got to find something we can do that doesn't make this about us, that we can help people with. So we did some, fundraiser tailgates and stuff, and just seeing how the community was willing to give to the little basket raffles we were doing at these tailgates, and just seeing like the potential that was out there, starts to make to think like, all right, we can do something, like we can do something here. And then there's just moments along the way. I'm continually renewed wanting to do it. Just when you're able to tell somebody, hey, we were able to raise, $3,500 for you or $500 for you. Cause people will say, and you want to do better than that, but often people are like, oh, every little bit counts. And it's the gesture that matters. But like, being able to say like, hey, we're going to take care of the next 2 months of bills for you or whatever the situation is. It's an incredible feeling. Right. And you get thank you cards from little kids written in crayon and everything. And, you can't buy that stuff. You can't go to Target and get that stuff, so just, yeah, I don't know. Just having that feeling of, like you said, fulfillment, contentment, being able to bless out of it is just.
At what point did you feel like you found your path to it? Like when we like 26 shirts is going to be it, and this is how we're going to kind of do our thing monthly?
Probably about a month after starting 26 shirts in 2013. I was like,
where does 26 shirts come from?
Well, when I started it, it was going to be a 1-year community service project. Different shirt every 2 weeks. 52 divided by 2 is 26.
Okay.
So, and now we do more than shirts, and we do more than 26, so the name doesn't mean anything. But remember a couple months into it, when I was working at Roswell at the time, telling one of my coworkers, like, oh yeah, with 26 shirts, I have this idea, and I want to keep pursuing it. And it eventually reached the point where I felt like I was driving to the wrong building every day. Like I was going to work. Blessed to work at Roswell and the work that they do with, in my web development career. But just feeling like I was called to be more front lines, And so when I eventually was, my position was eliminated at Roswell, it was actually like one of the best things. I felt like relief, I was like, oh, now it's okay to go and really run after this 26 shirts thing. And, it's been a huge blessing to be able to do it, every day since. And, as long as, God allows me to do it, I'm going to keep doing it and coming up with corny t-shirt designs and helping families and doing what we can do, but yeah. So, and anytime, like I'm on record here, like anytime I can ever help with what you're doing with your foundation, and we're not even around Christmas time, but any time of year, whenever you're doing stuff, and let me know, I'm here to help.
Appreciate it. And I know I've told you this multiple times, but since we're on the pod, you did actually sponsor my uncle in one of your shirts and raise money for him in a difficult time for my family. Give me a second, but appreciate you.
Yeah. That's why we exist, man. That's why we exist. If we can take some of this fandom, this energy in the community and turn it into something productive for families who are going through it, it's a blessing to be able to do it. So we'll hug it out later after the show.
Yeah. Oh, cut the cameras real quick.
Switching gears.
Yeah, please.
Is there a player that you have not worked with that you would love to work with?
We're gonna do a lot here, so it depends in what space really. The way I look at working with now, I want it to mean something. Like doing pictures is just whatever. So I recently adopted a child, and through a foster program, and I think working with Ray Davis would be great because he had the same kind of upbringing. And I just would love to kind of have him shed light on what I got going on and to just that whole entire space. That's awesome. To just make it more understandable and also kind of like learn more perspective because it's such a different space to where, trying to kind of come in and be the parent, even though you're kind of not the parent, and in a vulnerable space and just understanding like balance and, boundaries and I feel like I can learn a lot from that, and also he can also teach me a lot, and also would love to, find out a way in that space how we can give back and help those people because I am now part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so producers and people, we're gonna tag Ray Davis in a clip, right? All right, so we're tagging Ray Davis. Ray, we're coming for you, man. You're gonna work with Joe. No, I love that. I love that. All right, one last gear switch, then we're done here.
Yeah.
Chicken wings. Every episode I bring up chicken wings. Right. Everybody's got opinions.
I'm going to get some stuff for this, but it's okay.
All right, now I'm really looking forward to it. So, all right, go-to spot.
Okay. I'm going to say Doc Sullivan's because I'm right there, and consistency is a huge thing. They have great wings. I'm not going to give you the barbell, even though it's great. I just,
I'm actually starting
They have their flowers.
Hey, I'm starting to think like I'm going to actually start phrasing the question is that favorite go-to spot that's not barbell, because everybody says barbell.
Duff's is actually, no, I'm just kidding. No hate to Duff's.
Duff's isn't bad.
It's not. It's still like top 10.
Yeah.
Duff's will smoke any chicken wing place in the United States.
Yep. Okay, fair enough, yeah.
Duff's is actually really good. I think Duff's is like probably one of the more consistent places.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the Duffs on Millersport and Sheridan.
See, I'm a big fan of the Duffs on, is it Orchard Park Road right over here?
Right around the stadium.
Because they have like the loaded tater tots, and that's the only one that has them. Fire.
Yeah, good stuff.
But yeah, Doc Sullivan's. Here, believe it or not, I had my first wing nut wing 2 weeks ago.
Did you like it?
Oh, it was insane. I don't ever eat at tailgates. That's never been my thing. But I was just like randomly staying there at game day. I'm like, I'm gonna go try a wing nut wing, and I went down there. It was funny because AJ was down there, and he thought it was hilarious. It was really good.
Yeah, they're like chicken forearms. They're not even wings. They're huge. I don't know where they're getting these from, but like it's insane. You want to talk about consistency as well too.
I've been waiting to actually go there to get wings. Like for them, like obviously making them at the tailgate and them to taste that good, and it makes me very anxious to see what they taste like actually at the restaurant. But yeah, that's definitely a top two, and I'll see one more. I'd have to say Sunny Reds. Sunny Reds. I've not
been to Sunny Reds yet.
You want to go? We can go tomorrow.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Let's go. I love it.
I like their They have like a honey garlic. That's like kind of like my speed. I'm not a barbecue guy.
All right.
So like my wings at Doc's will be garlic parmesan. They're not like dry like you'd probably get anywhere else. They like mix them and then they pour everything on top of the wings. So you got a pile of like nice juicy wings there. But the bombshell of this is I am a ranch guy.
Oh, I was gonna ask you if you kind of teased it. I was gonna say like, what's your thing?
But I don't hate blue cheese by any means. I don't mind blue cheese at all. But I look at it as like that's just kind of how I grew up. Maybe that's a fault of my parents, but
if that's the worst they did.
But also, like, I don't mind blue cheese at all. I actually think Doc Sullivan's probably has one of the best blue cheese. The homemade blue cheese is always the best blue cheese.
I think you're the second person in a row to say that on here. That's not far from the truth. That's, you're, I gotta say, like, when it comes to ranch, I mean, in 26 Shirts, we make a lot of pro blue cheese shirts. People love that. And, it's for me. I'm not a big ranch on wings guy, but I'm also a big believer in let people like what they like.
For sure. Well, it's it's a little dramatic, but it's like, imagine if you were introduced to something else with cereal instead of milk. That's how I look at it. Like, if blue cheese was introduced to me first, I'd probably be the same way. Yep. But it just wasn't. But I'm also not a hater. I'm not like you guys. The dynamic's funny. It's definitely a Buffalo thing, but I've had like people tell me to like kill myself over it on Twitter and stuff. And it's like, really, man?
I think they have some bigger issues. Yeah. Their complaints of people who like ranch on their wings. But Stevie Johnson, I think he actually said he's a ranch guy too.
Yeah.
So
a lot of the Florida guys are ranch people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any names on the team and make you guys look at them any different, but there's also one guy that swears he's a blue cheese guy that's not, but we'll just leave that one out.
Oh, all right.
It's all about making everybody happy, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if he didn't.
See the quarterback?
Yeah, right?
All right, last question. Most wings you've ever put down or seen put down?
So this is disgusting, but it was actually during a Bills game. Probably 5 years ago, I ate a whole extra large cheese pepperoni and 30 wings, honey mustard wings.
Oh.
That was,
Yeah, you were hungry.
Yeah, it was different.
Went back 30 times for that. Wow.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you literally like set up the TV table in front of the television. The whole pizza's there. All the wings are there. I feel like that's the only way to eat as much as you can because like the get-ups to go to the kitchen and stuff, you're gonna burn out.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I mean, I'll never do it again.
Was it a loss? Were you stress eating?
No, I couldn't even tell you the game. I was more focused on sweating while not trying to throw up eating all this food. Because I'm like, man, I don't really do leftovers, so let me try not to make sure nothing's left.
I was gonna say, was that the goal at the outset?
No, like, when I was halfway there, I realized how many wings I ate, and then I'm like, okay, well, we might as well just keep going.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sunk cost at that point, like whatever. So, man, this was great. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Joe Croom Photos. Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I want to plug that Del Reed is one of the best people that we have in our community and the Mafia space, and the things he does that go unnoticed need to be noticed so you can see how much more awesome of a human being he is, and thank you for having me.
My man, thank you so much for those kind words. I appreciate it.
Always.
It's long overdue. Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.